My name is Sam. I'm 30 years old, and I really have not given back in life, at least not as much as I think I should have, both with my time and money. I'm not super rich, not super wealthy. I don't have a house yet, which is a dream, a goal of mine, but I do have enough to start really giving back. And it's something I've been saying I want to do, and I just haven't done it yet. So I'm here to, start changing that. That's the point of this channel, to help hold me accountable to start giving back to charity, to organizations that I think are doing great work that I support and I want to support, and also just my time and to start volunteering. I did just start volunteering a monthly habitat restoration at a park near me last month. I'm going again tomorrow, just once a month, couple hours. Super easy, low commitment. It's even nearby, it's a close commute, and I really should have started that earlier. I really can afford to give back with my time and resources and hopefully help inspire others to do the same. So that's why I'm here. That's why I made this channel, hold myself accountable, maybe help to inspire others, hear from others. There's a lot of really generous and charitable people out there who can share with me how they have given back to their community or to organizations that they're really passionate about and the good work that they do. And if this channel does get monetized, which I have done some YouTube before, I have gotten a channel monetized before, I think it would be a really cool cycle to be able to get money for the channel, donate that money to charity, upload videos of that, and then have those videos get more money and kind of make a full cycle, essentially funneling money from big companies, their marketing, advertisement funds, to charities and to great organizations, which I think would be just awesome. So it'll be a little while before we get there, but I think an end goal that's very possible. But for today, just start simple, start small. I'm gonna start donating. I don't know if I've actually ever really just randomly donated money to charity. I don't know if I've ever done that, which sounds funny. I didn't grow up with a bunch of money. I was a poor college kid at one point, but I started working full time when I was 25, 5 years ago, and since then, I have had money to give away. I make more money than I spend every month, right? I'm pretty good about saving and investing and not just having huge lifestyle inflation. And so I could have started giving earlier, and I should have. The best time for me to start giving was yesterday. The second best time is today, right? So here's me giving, and I'm going to hold myself accountable. And hopefully, over time and year after year, I'm able to give more as my situation and my circumstances get better. I consider myself fortunate already for what I have achieved and what I have now. And I think it will keep getting better. So, towards the end of this video, I am going to make a donation. I think I'll start with Bolsa Chica Conservancy. I do live in Southern California, and I used to volunteer for this nonprofit organization doing amazing things at the Bolsa Chica wetlands. The Bolsa Chica wetlands is a large coastal sanctuary in Southern California that provides a habitat for over 200 species of birds as well as other wildlife. It also provides health and recreational benefits for visitors like myself. The Bolsa Chica Conservancy's mission is to inspire and educate all communities to protect, preserve, and restore the Bolsa Chica wetlands. So, hopefully, that little preview of what the Bolsa Chica wetlands is about and what the Conservancy does is helpful to understand, why I want to give money to them, why I support them in their cause. Habitat restoration, environmental protection is something that I'm passionate about. We all have different kind of grand scheme efforts, bigger impacts that we focus on or think more about. Some people, it's, a diverse group of people, homelessness, mental health. For me, it's habitat, ecosystem, environmental, animals, that sort of thing. I'm just very passionate about it. And I can start giving with my time and my resources. I think we all have the power to give, right? So that's really my goal. And let's jump into it. All right, so here I am on the Bolsa Chica Conservancy's website. They have a nice big blue donate button right at the top, which is awesome. They obviously do so many things for the area. I don't live super close to there, so I don't get to visit it too much. I'm glad I made the trip to visit it to get some footage for this video, but they're super active in their community. They're at events nearby. They host events, they host a bunch of cleanup events. I've done a kayak cleanup there before a couple times. You get on a kayak and you clean out trash from the wetlands area. It's awesome. They also just have live animals to check out. And so I'm super supportive of this organization. I've been there, I know what they're all about. And I do trust that they are, spending donations and funding wisely. So let's go ahead, make our first donation. Again, I'm not super wealthy. I don't have just thousands of dollars to give away all the time, but I do have some to give. And I'm in a good spot. I've recently paid off my car. Just this week, I finally paid off my student loans. And so that is less money that's just leaving my bank account every month, going towards paying off the loan. And that now I have to save and invest some, but also start giving away. So we're going to get started, really break the barrier for me. Again, the first time I'm really donating, we will do $100. I feel like that's a nice, even number for a first donation. Hopefully, I can keep up some donations over time through this channel, whether it's 100 or 50 or 25 here and there. I just want to be more consistent about it and really think about it and be reminded that's an important thing for me to do, and that year over year, again, I can make improvements. So we're gonna go ahead, fill this out. It's gonna ask for some payment info. I'm gonna skip that for privacy reasons, and I'll pop it back up when we've got the payment receipt. All right, so just pretty simple thank you screen here. Your card ending in blank. I'm gonna block that part out. Won't make it to the video. Has been billed $100. Awesome. That's my first real donation. I think honestly in my life, which is crazy to think about. 30 years, and I really haven't made an effort to do that before. I think giving back is really important. And, it is good to verify, to vet the organizations or the people that you're giving to. But I think it just really keeps things going. There are so many organizations, nonprofits doing great things that rely on donations, or even if you're in a position where you don't really have extra money to donate, you have other resources, your time being the biggest one that you can go and volunteer. And again, I mentioned I used to volunteer at Bolsa Chica wetlands. I did some in my early 20s, and then I just kind of stopped. I don't really have a good reason or excuse for why I stopped. I just did. I didn't think about it. It wasn't at the front of my mind. Now I've started doing some volunteering again. I mentioned I'm 30. I do have a goal for this next chapter of my life, this new decade, to do a certain number of volunteer hours and really be consistent is the key. So I want to be consistent in giving my time when I'm available, and we all have time that we're available that we can give, we can donate. This feels good. I really feel like, I broke a barrier a bit. Like donating this first 100, it's going to make it easier to keep donating. Okay, and here's just a little tracking sheet that I made to help track my donations, again, help hold myself accountable. Bolsa Chica Conservancy, I spelled that right. First $100 donated. Feels good. I want to grow this list. I really want to think more about the organizations that I care about. Maybe it'll help me visit more if there's more in my area. Again, I'm in Southern California. There's so much great work being done here, especially on the environmental side of things. There's ways I can just help out my community, more organizations to look into. And so I'm going to share more of that on this channel. I'm going to give and donate and, make videos like this, not to show off, but to hold myself accountable, hopefully help inspire others. But when I can't donate, when I don't have much extra money to give at certain times, I do still want to just make content to highlight, let's say, certain organizations or projects that are just awesome, just feel good, right? It does feel good to give, and that's something we can all achieve. And I think it'll all make us a little bit happier if we're nice and charitable and generous It just kind of makes the world a better place. So I'm hoping through this channel that I can make a real impact. I can force myself to make a direct impact, but maybe there's a community that I can be a part of that makes a really, really big impact as well. So thank you to anyone who has made it this far in the video. I do appreciate you watching, taking the time to support my journey and to potentially join this journey with me. So I thank you. I'll see you next time. And remember that we all have the power to give.